Good morning dear students, myself Sachin S. Pawar and I welcome you to my fourth video on Unit 1 Solid States for PU 2 Chemistry students. In this video we shall continue our discussion on tetrahedral and octahedral voids. Okay. So in the first part of this session we shall discuss how to locate the tetrahedral and octahedral voids in FCC. Now for this you need to have a formula, a concrete formula for calculating the number of tetrahedral and octahedral voids. Let's do that first and then we shall locate the number of tetrahedral and octahedral voids in FCC. Okay. So the formula, if we have a crystal lattice and suppose n number of particles are forming those crystal lattice. Particle mean spheres. So there are n spheres which are combined together or packed together. N may be any number, it may be 100, 200, 1000, Avogadro number and so on. Then by the formula it is found that the number of tetrahedral void is exactly double of these numbers and the number of octahedral void is same as the number of particles forming the arrangement. For example, if 100 particles are forming a CCP, that is cubic close packing, or HCP, that is hexagonal close packing, then the number of tetrahedral void is exactly double of this, that is 100 into 2, that is 200, and the number of octahedral void is same as that number, that is equal to 100. So with this formula in mind, let us try to find out the tetrahedral and octahedral voids in FCC. Now when I say FCC, you already know FCC structure is the one where we have particles at the corner and particles at the center of every face. The diagram is there on your screen. Now you already know that if you want to find out the number of particles, now for finding the tetrahedral and octahedral voids you require the number of particles present in that unit cell, and for that we have already learnt a formula. To find out the formula of the number of particles in the unit cell, we have 1 by 8 into number of corner particles plus 1 by 2 into number of face centered particles plus 1 if there is one body centered particle plus 1 by 2 into number of corner particles. We have that formula. Now since it is a face centered particle here, since it is a face centered cubic system, here the particles are present either at the corners of the unit cell and the face centered. So the formula to calculate the number of particles per unit cell would be 1 by 8 into total number of corner particles plus 1 by 2 into total number of facial particles. 8 corner particles, so 1 by 8 into 8. Faces, there are 6, so it is 1 by 2 into 6, that makes 4. So the FCC unit cell is made up of 4 spheres, that is 4 particles, and therefore the number of tetrahedral void and octahedral void will be according to the formula, that is 2 into 4, that is 8 tetrahedral voids and 4 octahedral voids. In FCC therefore we have 8 tetrahedral voids and 4 octahedral voids. Now when you want to identify this, when you want to locate this, we need to know that tetrahedral void is a void where we have 3 particles forming a triangle and 1 particle is sitting and on that triangle at the center. So this is the view from the top and this view is from the side. So tetrahedral void has to be identified like this. Now while locating the tetrahedral voids in FCC, now here we require 3 particles forming a triangle and 1 particle sitting at the face. So if you just concentrate on the unit cell of FCC, you will find such thing is present at the base inside part of the corner. So if I take a corner particle, this corner is common to 3 faces. If you are right now you are sitting in the room, then you will see any corner is common to 3 faces. three faces. So centers of those faces, if I take centers of those faces, so here this corner is common to face 1. See, this center is common, this corner is common to face 1. So this is the center, face centered particle. It is common to this face also, so this center particle, and it is common to this face also, this. So these three faces made up of that corner, which are common to that the corner is common to these three faces. Therefore these three face centered particles form a triangle, and this corner particle sits in the center to form a tetrahedral void like this. It forms a tetrahedral void like this. And since there are 8 corners like this, the tetrahedral void is completely present inside. Therefore 8 tetrahedral voids are present, which are comprising of, every tetrahedral void is comprising of a corner particle and the 3 face centered particles of the faces, which are the for which the corner is common. So like this we have identified 8 tetrahedral voids in every corner of the FCC. Next, so it is 1 by 8 into 8. Next, I want to find out octahedral voids. To find out octahedral voids, I have to find out such kind of geometry, that is 3 particles forming one triangle and the 3 particles forming the another triangle. The top view should be the one which is there on the left hand side, and the side view should be the view which is there on the right hand side. So we have to find out this. Now when we try to find out that, one such octahedral void is easily be found out in the center of the face centered cubic unit cell. So see this center is having 6 particles, see phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5 and phase 6. 6 face centered particles, if you join by imaginary line, you will get an octahedral pattern. So this void which is there at the center of FCC unit cell is an octahedral void. So one octahedral void we have identified. Another octahedral void you want to identify, then it has been identified at the corner of at the center of every edge. So edge, you see, this is the edge. So this edge is made up of 2 corner particles and the 2 face centered particles of the same unit cell and 2 face centered particles of the neighboring unit cell. So this corner is not completely, this octahedral void present at the edge of the unit cell is not completely belonging into the unit cell. It is not completely belonging to the unit cell, and if you just think it carefully and if you observe it carefully, you will find that each edge is common to 4 unit cell at the bottom. It is common to 4 unit cell. See, unit cell 1, unit cell 2, unit cell backside, and the backside unit cells. Total 4 unit cells are there. So this octahedral void which is there on that edge is shared by 4 unit cells. So I need to divide by 4. So such 12 edges are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 edges are there. So 12 edges will have octahedral void, which is 1/4 of that is present. 1 void at the center of the unit cell, 12 octahedral voids at the center of every edge, into 1 by 4, that makes 1 plus 3, that is 4. So this is the way we can locate the number of tetrahedral and octahedral voids in a crystal. Before I conclude this location of tetrahedral and octahedral voids in the FCC, in your government text, this part, that is locating the tetrahedral void and octahedral void in FCC, is present in yellow bars. That means the question on this will not come in the annual examination. However, on this formula which is there, I have told, problem can appear on this formula, where this formula can be used to determine the structural formula of the crystal. How to do that? That we shall see by solving some problems in this particular class. So here we have located the tetrahedral and octahedral voids. Now we'll go on to the next part, that is problems on tetrahedral and octahedral voids used to determine the structure of the crystal. Before I go further, I would like to conclude. So concluding part, you require two more things which are for a competitive exam. Tetrahedral void appears like this. So if you find out the radius of the tetrahedral void, it is actually found to be 0.225 times the radius of any sphere in the crystal. That is required for a competitive exam. And the radius of the octahedral void is found to be 0.414 times the radius of any sphere forming that octahedral void. These are the two formulas which are required for a competitive exam, not mentioned in the government text. There is one more concept which is called as radius ratio, which is the radius of the cation to the radius of the anion and the structure. That relation also is not there in the government text, but you require it for your competitive exams. But I'm not going to take that thing. That we shall see. That one or two problems I will solve at the end of this based on the radius ratio. That we shall see at the end, not now. Okay, so this is regarding tetrahedral voids and octahedral voids. Let us use these voids to find out the geometry of the crystal. So for this, I am going to solve some problems based on this from your text. That is solved problems and the problems which are there on in your exercise. So we'll go for this. This is the first problem which I have. Now, when I say a problem, remember one important thing. If n particles are forming the lattice, then number of tetrahedral voids is equal to 2n and the number of octahedral void is equal to n. This is the general formula which you supposed to remember for finding out the formula of the compound. And when I say formula of the compound, we are actually interested in finding out the empirical formula of the compound. Empirical formula means we simply want to know the ratio of the elements. Now for example, here x and y elements are there, so ratio is x and y. The ratio of the element, if you find out, then we can easily find out the empirical formula of the compound. And for that you need to use this concept. Right, and also you need to know that every corner particle, if it is there, then if I have a cubic unit cell, then I need to multiply it by 1 by 8 into 8, that is corner particles, 1 by 2 into number of face centered particles. This formula is required, and plus 1 if there is a body centered particle. That is this formula also you may require for your problems based on the formula calculation. So with this, let's start the first problem. One more thing, whenever you want to write the formula, remember if it is a ionic solid, the cation must be written first and then the anion. This is the IUPAC system rules. Okay, with this idea in mind, let's go on solving problems on this. Let's clean the screen. Okay, so let's go on solving the problems on this. Okay, so first, what they have given, Y is an anion forming CCP. So, and X is cation which is occupying all the octahedral voids. They want the formula of the compound. Okay, what is given I will write down. Okay, so we want the ratio of X and Y. So I will say number of Y ions forming CCP structure I have to know, because I want the ratio, and I also want to know the number of X ions which occupy all the octahedral voids. I want that. They have not given anything to us, so we have to assume. Let the number of Y ions forming CCP, we'll start with equal to n. then the number of octahedral voids will be equal to n. And since all the octahedral voids are occupied, by x ions, so it will be n only. Because all the octahedral voids are occupied, and therefore if I want to find out the ratio, if I just find the ratio of the cation is to anion, it is n is to n. That is, if I divide, it is 1 is to 1. Since the ratio is 1 is to 1, as you have learnt in PUC first year, unit number 1, the empirical formula becomes, the formula of the compound becomes x y 1 1 1, we don't write, so it is xy. This is problem based on calculation of the number of based on the number of tetrahedral and octahedral voids. Let's quickly move on to next problem. Okay, so this is the next problem. We have a next problem. I'll just quickly read it. Atoms of element B is forming HCP. Those of element A occupy 2/3 of tetrahedral void. What is the formula of the compound? So I will again say, so B is forming HCP and A are in 2/3 of tetrahedral void. Therefore I will write, therefore, okay, number of particles, again we'll take number of atoms of B forming HCP I want, and I want number of atoms of A occupying 2/3 of tetrahedral void. I want this. I don't have. So let us say it is n. Say n. Therefore, number of tetrahedral voids is 2n, the formula says, and therefore number of atoms of A occupying 2/3 will be 2/3 of 2n, that is 4n by 3. And therefore if I want the ratio, now there is no mentioning of cat and anion, so I will take A and B. Ratio A is to B if I take, then it is 4n by 3 is to n, based on this 2. And again if I divide it, it is 4 by 3 is to 1, that is equal to 4 is to 3, and therefore the formula comes out to be, the formula comes out to be 4 by 3, that is A4 B3. This is the formula of the compound. This is the problem number 2. Let's quickly move on to next problem. Okay, what is the two-dimensional coordination number of a sphere in square close packing? This is already I have discussed, and you already know the coordination number is 4. The coordination number is 4. This I have already discussed, so I don't want to comment on this. Let's move on to the next problem. Okay, a compound forms hexagonal close packing. Okay, so we have a hexagonal close packing, HCP structure. Okay, what is the total number of voids in 0.5 moles of it? A compound is forming, so they have given me a compound is equal to 0.5 mole in HCP. They have given this, and they have asked me to find out the number of tetrahedral voids. Okay, it's very simple. Now this is mole, which is not the number, so this is the amount of substance. Now amount of substance you need to convert into a number, because we want number of tetrahedral whites. You want number of tetrahedral whites. How many? So mole to number of particle relation, you already know that mole to number of particle relation is 1 mole is Avogadro's number. So this is equal to 0.5 into Avogadro's number is 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 particles. Compound, if I say molecules, compound will have molecules. So this is molecules. So these many molecules are forming HCP. So obviously, therefore they have asked me what now? What is the total number of whites? What is the total number of whites? They have asked me total number of whites and they have asked me tetrahedral whites. So therefore, number of tetrahedral whites will be equal to how much? You know, double of this. So it is 2 into 0.5 into 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. And a simple formula, if you use that, value comes out to be, so that value, if you just use a simple calculator or if you just do mind calculation, 2 into 0.5 is 1 only. So it is 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. That is number of tetrahedral voids. So this problem is solved. They want to find out the number of octahedral voids also. And next number of octahedral voids. Number of octahedral voids will be equal to the same number, is equal to same number, that is 0.5 into 6.022 into 10 to the power 23, which is coming out to be 3.011 into 10 to the power 23. And since we have number of tetrahedral voids, number of octahedral voids, therefore number of voids, total number of voids, total number of voids will be equal to this plus this, that is 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 plus 3.011 into 10 to the power 23. That comes out to be 9.033 into 10 to the power 23, and this completes the problem. I hope this is clear. So this is the problem. Let's quickly move on to the next problem now. Next problem. A compound formed by two elements M and N. N forms CCP. So atoms of element N forming CCP. Okay. And atoms of M occupy 1/3 of tetrahedral void. Okay. And the atoms of element M occupy 2/3 of tetrahedral void. Okay, I want to find out what is the formula of the compound. Okay, what is the formula of the compound? They have asked this. Okay, again the number game. So let the number of atoms of element N forming CCP is N. So therefore the number of tetrahedral void will be how much? Sorry, it is not 2/3, it is 1/3. They have given 1/3. So this is 1/3. Okay, so they have given this. So number of tetrahedral voids is equal to 2n. So it is, so the therefore the number of atoms of element M occupying 1/3 means it is 1 by, so it is 1/3 of 2n, that is 2n by 3. So we have got the number of particles of n, number of particles of m, therefore the ratio n is to m is n is to 2n by 3, that comes out to be 3 is to 2. Therefore the formula of the compound will be, yes, it is N3M2, N3M2, that's it. This is the formula of the compound. Okay, this completes the problems on this. I will just create one problem for you people and then we'll try to solve this. Okay, suppose a unit cell, a cubic of FCC unit cell, in FCC unit cell, suppose A particles are at the corners, and B particles are at the center of every face, then what is the formula of the compound? I want to know this. Can I find? Here the tetrahedral and octahedral void has not come. So can I find this? Let's see. FCC unit cell, we have got A particles and B particles. So in FCC unit cell, you know there are 8 corners and 6 face centers. This idea you must have, 8 corners and face centers. So I want to find out. Now here A particles are at the corners. A particles occupy corners. So therefore the number of A particles will be how much? You know one thing, every corner is 1/8 of every corner is belonging to the unit cell. Therefore it is 1 by 8 into 8, that is equal to 1. I hope you are understanding this, because 8 corners are there and all 8 corners are occupied by particles A, and B particles occupy every face, center of every face, and total number of faces are 6. Therefore number of B particles will be how much? Every face is common to 2 unit cells, so I need to have a multiplier as 1 by 2. 1 by 2 into 6 faces are there, 4 it is 6, so it is 3. And therefore the formula would be, the ratio would be, ratio A is to B would be equal to 1:3, and therefore the formula of the compound is AB3. So we can also find out the number of particles, the formula of the compound, if you know the particles are occupying the corners or face centered or body centered, or half of it or some fraction of it are occupying the body center, some fraction of them are occupying the face center. So that calculation we can find out based on this logic. So So this is one example which I have covered, and this completes today's session. And here I have finished problems on calculating the number of tetrahedral voids and octahedral voids, and using that how to find out the formula of the compound. That's it for today. Thank you. I'll stop here.